Good morning, students. Today we are going to start with the chapter, the next part of two stories about flying, that is a black aeroplane. Okay, so a black aeroplane, as I told you, that this is a story about an aeroplane. The pilot who was flying his plane from Paris back to England. He was very much, you can say, he was very much excited to reach his home to have an English breakfast with his family. But what happened? Suddenly, what happened? He saw dust of cloud in front of him, and this, you can say, this storm of cloud, it enclosed very, you can say, sinister storm, and ultimately he had no other option. All the signals of his aeroplane, they stopped working, and he had no other option what to do. Then suddenly, a strange aeroplane, black aeroplane, emerged from the side of his aeroplane, and he could see through the window glass of his aeroplane that he was making a gesture just to follow him. So he had no other choice except to follow, and he had followed that plane, and ultimately what happened? He was safe. But when he reached the ground, he has gone to the control room in order to ask about the identity of the, you can say, unknown aeroplane in the sky. And what surprise he has got, this we are going to study. So yesterday I have also given you an introduction. So let us start. But just before that, you can have a look over the chapter that is being shared on your screens. Yes, you just have a look. So the black aeroplane. Okay. Now, coming up to the black aeroplane. The moon was coming up in the east behind me, and stars were shining in the clear sky above me. So the poet is saying, he is explaining about the situation that when he was flying his aeroplane, he has looked that it was clear sky, no sign of cloud in the sky at all. Everything was so clear, and he was just flying his aeroplane. There was a clear moon in the sky as well as stars. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone high up above the sleeping countryside. He said that I was really very happy that nobody was there in the sky, and the line was completely clear, and everybody was sleeping in the countryside. Means everything was quite silent. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over France back to England. So which aeroplane he was flying? He was flying his old Dakota aeroplane from Paris, that is France, back to England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward to being with my family. He said, I was thinking of that holiday, and I was just looking forward to be with my family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning. So what was the time? It was 1:30 in the morning. And it was 1:30 in the morning. So everything was quiet. And next, I should call Paris control soon, I thought. As I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane, I saw the lights of the big city in front of him. So he thought that he should make a call to the control room of the Paris. And then what happened when he has looked? He thought that everything was quite clear. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS-088 here. Can you hear me? I'm on my way to England, over. So he has informed the Paris control room that he is flying back to England, and he should get the proper signals regarding that. The voice from the radio answered me immediately. DSO88, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12 degrees west now, DSO88, over. So he has given the other one from the, you can say, from the opposite side. He has given the, you can say, he has given him the instructions that you can turn your aeroplane now 12 degrees to west. I checked the map and compass, switched over to my second and last few times. So he was checking his, you can say, all the signals. He was checking his compass, that how he should turn now 12-degree west, and ultimately he has also checked his fuel tank, whether there was enough fuel in his tank or not. So what happened? And turned the Dakota 12 degrees west towards England. So he has turned his Dakota aeroplane to 12 degrees west. I checked the map and compass and switched over to my second and last fuel tank and turned the Dakota. Okay. I'll be in time for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast. Everything was going well and it was an easy flight. So he thought that everything was quite clear. He said that I will reach well in time. I will have a great breakfast with my family and I will reach at proper time. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me when I saw the clouds, storm clouds. So he said, when I have covered a distance of 150 kilometers, I saw that the clouds were, you can say that the clouds were behind me. Okay, that is a storm of clouds. So it means something to worry. They were huge. They looked like black mountains standing in front of me across the sky. So when he reached near, he had seen that these clouds, they were just looking like that of black mountains, very large clouds, and out of which emergence or coming out of these clouds is very difficult. They were huge, and I knew I could only fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to north, to or south. He said, but he had no other choice. He had to go inside these clouds, as he had no other option, because there was not enough fuel in his tank so that he can go back. In spite of going to the west, he should go back to north and south and then come to west again. No, there was no option to him. I ought to go Paris, I thought, but I wanted to get home. I wanted that breakfast. He said, according to the situation, I should go back to Paris. But he said, no, I did not have any choice. And because he wanted to go to his home to have that English breakfast with his family. I'll take the risk, I thought, and flew that Dakota straight into the storm. He said that I had no other option, that I had to take the risk. And ultimately, what has happened? He took the risk and he has flown. He has flown back into the, you can say, storm of clouds. Inside the clouds, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. So when he has entered the storm, everything was, you can say, quite black. It was not impossible for, it was really impossible for him to see anything outside. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air because of the storm. It was, air must be blowing, and because of this kind of situation, so what has happened, his aeroplane, it jumped and twisted too. And I looked at the compass. He wanted to know the direction, but what happened? I couldn't believe my eyes. The compass was turning round and round and round. It was dead. It would not work. The other instruments were suddenly dead too. I tried the radio. So he said that I tried the radio too. I thought that how my compass was working, but actually what it was not at all working. It was turning round and round, and he did not know what to do. Paris control, can you hear me? There was no answer. He was trying to contact the Paris control room, but there was no answer to him. The radio was dead too. He had no radio, no compass, and I could not see where I was. He was trying to make his, you can say, contact with the control room, but his radio signals were also dead. His compass was also not working, and he did not know where he was. Then, in the black clouds quite near me, I saw another aeroplane. It had no lights on its wings, but I could see it flying next to me through the storm. So then suddenly, when he looked around, he saw that in another aeroplane, it was flying. This aeroplane, which was flying in the sky, it did not have any lights on its wings. But he said, without lights, but I can see it very well that it was flying in the storm. I could see the pilot's face turned towards me. I was glad to see another person. He lifted one hand and waved. Follow me, he was saying, follow me. So he said I could be able to see the face of the pilot. There was pilot sitting in the aeroplane. He said I was happy. That pilot in the other aeroplane, he was waving. He was moving his hand, giving him an indication that he should follow. Next, he did not have any other option. He knows that I am lost and he is trying to help me. And he know the pilot of the other aeroplane, he knew that this pilot in this aeroplane, he has lost his way. And he turned the aeroplane slowly to the north. Then what he did, he turned his aeroplane to the north side in front of my Dakota so that it would be easier for me to follow him. I was very happy to go behind the strange aeroplane like an obedient child. So he said he has twisted his aeroplane little bit to the north so that I can follow him easily. and I was following him like an obedient child. Why an obedient child? Because he did not have any other option except to follow that aeroplane, because he was lost in the storm. He has lost all the control. He has lost all the connection to the control room too. After half an hour, the strange black aeroplane was still there in front of me in the clouds. Half an hour passed on and he was following that aeroplane. Now, there was only enough fuel in the old Dakota's last tank to fly for 5 or 10 minutes more. Now he checked the fuel tank, that there was not enough fuel tank. It was only sufficient, just he can make a flight of only, you can say, 10 to, he can only make a flight of 5 to 10 minutes more. I was starting to feel frightened again, but then he started to go down and I followed through the storm. And he was frightened that what would happen if my will come to an end, if the fuel tank will be emptied. But then what happened? This aeroplane, it started going down. And then he was following again that aeroplane through the storm. Suddenly, I came out of the clouds and saw two long straight lines of lights in front of me. It was a runway, an airport. I was safe. So suddenly what happened? He came out of the clouds. Then what he saw in front of him, the two straight lines of lights in front of him. It was a runway. So he has reached the runway of an airport. I turned to look for my friend in the black aeroplane, but the sky was empty. He tried to look for that aeroplane in the sky, but what he was looking, there was no indication of any aeroplane there. The sky was quite empty. He was thinking where the aeroplane has gone. And then afterwards, there was nothing there. The black aeroplane was gone and I could not see it anywhere. He did not have any indication of the strange aeroplane that appeared in the sky. I landed and was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota near the control tower. I went and asked a woman in the control center where I was and who the other pilot was. I wanted to say thank you. So before going to his home, when he landed onto the ground, he went to the control room in order to ask the woman in the control room that which aeroplane was it in the sky who has saved him from the storm. And he said that actually I wanted to thank him. She looked at me very strangely and then laughed. She looked at the pilot strangely and she laughed. Another aeroplane up there in the storm? No, no other aeroplanes were flying tonight. Yours was the only one I could see on the radar. She said, she laughed. She said, another aeroplane? What are you saying? There was no other aeroplane in the sky except yours. And in the radar, I have seen only yours. No other aeroplane was in the sky. So, who helped me to arrive there safely without a compass or a radio and without more fuel in my tanks? Who was the pilot on the strange black aeroplane flying in the storm without lights? So, the pilot was surprised to see that who was that pilot who has saved him, who has saved his life, who has saved his life without, without enough fuel in his tank, and he was able to finally come out of it, means come out of that storm. Means it remains still a mystery for him that who was there and how he was able to come out of this, you can say, out of this kind of, you can say, storm. It means like that it was really a, you can say, really a very, you can say, strange thing for him to come out of it, right? So this is the main, you can say, so this is the main chapter, very simple one, okay, that we have studied, okay. But actually the pilot, he did not have come to know that who actually the other pilot was, who was sitting in the aeroplane, okay. So he was just thinking, he was just pondering over, but he did not get an answer to it, okay. Now coming up to the question answers, thinking about the text. So first of all, I would like to ask, is the chapter clear to you? If yes, just put your thumbs up. Chapter is clear? Fine. Next, afterwards, coming up to the question answers. I'll take the risk. What is the risk and why does the narrator take it? I'll take the risk. What was the risk that the narrator wants to take? Actually, the risk was going into the storm. As there was not enough fuel in his tank, so he has to take the risk in order to go into the storm and to go through that storm as he wanted to go back to his home, to his house, to have an English breakfast with his family. And why does the narrator take it? The narrator took that, or the narrator takes that risk because he wanted to be with his family. He wanted to have the breakfast with his family. Second question, describe the narrator's experience as he flew the aeroplane into the storm. So what was his experience? It was really a very sad experience for the narrator. Okay, it was really very strange and sad experience for the narrator as he was flying his aeroplane into the storm, or as he was flying his aeroplane into the storm, the you can say the clouds, they were appearing as black large mountains standing in front of him across the sky. He had no other option except to go into the storm. He went, or he followed his aeroplane into the storm, but there in the storm there was again nothing to be visible to him. All the signals of his aeroplane, they stopped working. His compass, it was turning round and round, and it was dead. It was not at all working. He has lost all the controls and all the contacts to the Paris control room. And it was really very difficult for him to find the direction. But then what happened while he was flying his aeroplane in the storm? A strange aeroplane came from the other side. There were no lights on the wings of that aeroplane. And then what happened? But the pilot inside the aeroplane waved towards him to follow him. So the pilot, he had no other option except to follow him. And he had followed him like an obedient child. And after a flight of almost half an hour, and then ultimately he landed, he came to the ground by following that strange aeroplane, and it was a strange aeroplane who had saved his life as well as his aeroplane. So right, this answer clear? Next is, why does the narrator say, I landed and I was not sorry to walk away from the old Dakota? So why he said? He said so that he landed safely. It was because of the reason that why he said he landed safely. He said that he landed safely. It was because of the reason that he was happy to come out of that storm that he was engulfed in. A strange aeroplane came and saved his life. He has come out of it, he was saved, and ultimately when he landed, he wanted to thank the pilot in that strange aeroplane. He wanted to know the whereabouts of that aeroplane. He wanted to know about the details of that aeroplane as well as the pilot who was in that aeroplane. But ultimately what has happened? There was no choice to him. And ultimately when he came, he contacted the control room. He found that the lady in the control room told him that there was no other aeroplane except him, and that was really very strange to hear to him, that who was that aeroplane who has saved his life. So I hope that the answer is clear. If you have any problem, you can raise your hands side by side. Next, afterwards, the next question is, what made the women in the control center look at the narrator strangely? Yes, again the same answer that I have spoken just now. The women in the control room looked at the pilot strangely because the pilot was asking about the presence of another aeroplane in the sky while he was flying, who helped him to come out of that storm. But the lady, she was looking surprisingly at the pilot because in her radar, she has not seen any other aeroplane except his. So she told him that there was no other aeroplane except his. So that this is the reason she was looking strangely at the pilot, because she has not seen any other aeroplane flying in the sky. Next is, who do you think helped the narrator to reach safely? Okay, so who do you think would be there in the, you can say, in the sky. Can anyone answer? Who do you think, according to your, you can say, viewpoint, who it can be? Yes, who it can be? Can you guess? It can be another pilot. It can be some supernatural thing. Not anything can be there. Can anybody would like to answer? I think nobody is getting any idea about it. So let me tell you that the strange aeroplane that saved the narrator's life, it can be another aeroplane, okay, with some supernatural powers, okay. It can be some supernatural phenomena that has saved his life. This is just a mystery that is inexplicable, that is unable to be explained. It can be another aeroplane, or that can be another, you can say, power who has come only just to save his life. So we cannot, you can say, we cannot elicit it who it was. It is something unnatural that has happened to the pilot. So these are the textual questions that you have to do in your notebook. Okay, right? So you have to do these questions in your notebook. So mainly all the main questions that are being discussed here. So in the light of these, I hope that you have very well understood the chapter. And next, some extra questions. So we have discussed that how the author was feeling when he was flying his aeroplane, right? How did he feel inside the clouds? He felt very, he was filled with terror. Okay, he was frightened also when he was flying in the clouds, because his aeroplane has lost all the controls with the Paris control room. His compass was not working. It was turning round and round, and he has lost all the controls. And in the aeroplane, and in the storm, in among those black big mountain clouds, he was not able to see anything. So this is how he was feeling. Then why did the pilot or the writer follow the pilot of the another plane? Because he had no other choice to follow except to follow, right? He had no other choice except to follow him, because it was just, you can say, as all the signals have been lost, his radio as well as his Paris control room signals, they have been broken, or they have been detached from him, and ultimately he had no other choice except to follow that aeroplane. Okay, so these are the main questions related to this chapter. Okay, and I hope that you have understood it very well. If you have any other problem, then you can just raise up your hands, and so that I can sort out the problem.